Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today for Good evening everybody. So, we made it. Just got off the boat at Blackwater Bay. We are now officially in Westeros. We have the bay, of course, behind us. It is the official port of Westeros. We have King's Landing just behind us here. So throughout tonight's episode, I will be showing you some of the delights of Westeros. We'll also talk about some of the places where you can stay, different hotels, hostelries, inns, all of that sort of thing, and some fun and interesting things to do while you're here. We're starting out, obviously, as you can imagine, here in the great city of King's Landing. So, what is there to do in King's Landing? Well, of course, visiting the Red Keep is a must. Not 100% sure how much we'll be able to actually see of the Red Keep, of course, but we can certainly see if we can go and check out the area in general. There is of course also the Great Sept of Baelor, which we'd like to go and see. These are all places that I recommend that you go and visit while you're here in Westeros. I'm going to show you my travels around, let you know what I've been doing. While we're here, we also will be of course traveling through the various different provinces. So at the moment we're in Crown Country. We're going to be heading out to the Reach, heading up to the Riverland. We'll be going through to the Western Mount and up to the north. So we'll hopefully be seeing some of the seats of the great houses of Westeros, as well as some of the beautiful countryside. So get yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, a snack, and sit back and enjoy as we travel through Westeros. We've just stopped at one of the local dockyard taverns to get a bite to eat, have a drink, mix with some of the locals, and find out some information about where we might stay tonight and what we can and can't do while we're here in the city. We're not officially within King's Landing yet, we're still in the dock area, but we are stopping at this beautiful dockside tavern. So I wonder what they'll let us know. Hello everybody! It is day number 2 and here we are just outside the Red Keep. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get access to the inside of the Red Keep today because there are some very important meetings happening with the small council, so we weren't able to actually get access to the Red Keep. But of course we can have a look around the grounds. The Red Keep is one of the most famous buildings in all of King's Landing and in fact the entirety of Westeros. This is the seat of power without the entire Seven Kingdoms. Of course, at the moment, the Baratheons are in control, with the child King Joffrey being our supreme leader of the Seven Kingdoms, although some say that it's really his mother Cersei who is at the head of the family, but you didn't hear that from me. So this is the famed Red Keep. I'm sorry that I won't get to show you guys, but this is what happens when you are a tourist coming to check out King's Landing. And of course I want to make this show for you guys as authentic as it would be if you were a tourist traveling around. So that's what we're doing. We are of course just tourists having a travel. We're going to head over now to the Great Sept of Baelor. Might be able to have a look inside that. We'll see how we go, but in any case that's where we're going to head out now, so stay tuned. So here we are at the front of the Great Sept of Baelor. The Great Sept of Baelor is the official seat of the Faith of the Seven, which is the official religion that is followed here in Westeros, in the Seven Kingdoms specifically. Now, of course, in the north, they predominantly follow the old gods, and in the Iron Islands, they mostly worship the drowned god, but in every single kingdom of the Seven Kingdoms, the Faith of the Seven are followed to a greater or lesser extent. So here in King's Landing, we have the Great Sept of Baelor, as I said, and the Great Sept of Baelor is the biggest biggest and most important seat of power for that religion. This is where all of the great festivals happen. This is where all of the important days, religious days happen, and this is where all of the changes happen, if there are any changes. The 7 gods are just that. They are a pantheon of 7 gods. First of all, we have the Father, and he is the judge and protector of all of his followers and worshippers. Then we have the Mother, who is also considered a protector, but more of a mothering, nurturing figure for her followers. Then we have the Warrior, and he is considered to be the strength of the 7 kingdoms, the strength of the faith of the 7. Warriors make offerings to him before battle, and he is prayed to look after the souls of warriors who are killed in battle as well. Then we have the Smith, who is depicted as a blacksmith, and he is prayed to as the mender of broken things, a bit like Hephaestus. The Maiden is the next god in the pantheon of 7, and she is a young, beautiful maid who is prayed to protect women and yeah, look after their maidenhood. Then we have the Crone, and she is more considered to be the wisdom of the 7 kingdoms, and people pray to her for wisdom. Next we have the Stranger, and the Stranger represents the other to the faith of the 7. So she is neither male nor female and is an outcast. They are human and not human, knowable and unknowable. So yeah, very representative of the other in the faith of the 7. So as I said, this is the Great Sept of Baylor. It is open to the public, but not really necessarily as a tourist attraction, but you can go and worship there. But of course you can have a look at the front as well. So this is our second day in the 7 Kingdoms, and we've had a bit of a look around King's Landing. We will come back to King's Landing. This is where obviously we have to leave from, but we are planning to head out tomorrow into the Reach and head up hopefully to Highgarden. So well, here we are in the absolutely stunning Highgarden. This is of course the principal seat of the Tyrells, who are one of the major houses of the Reach, which is just to the northwest of King's Landing. This is one of their beautiful parks. They have actually a number of beautiful parks within the city of Highgarden itself, and it's just absolutely stunning. I'm going to take a little bit of a walk around the garden so that you can see the beauty that is Highgarden, because really it is just incredible. Probably the most beautiful area that I've seen so far, though this is only the 3rd day that we've been in the 7 Kingdoms, but certainly up there is one of the best places that you can come. I highly recommend visiting one, if not all, of the gardens while you're here in Highgarden. There are some absolutely stunning hotels and inns that you can stay in. Last night we stayed in the Rose Tavern, and it was just stunning. The food was amazing. I again was absolutely astounded to find a lot of vegetarian options, all of which looked delicious. What I had was absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend. All of the food looked amazing. The camera people's food, everybody just had a beautiful, beautiful dinner that they thoroughly enjoyed. It was a little bit more pricey, I would say, but certainly something that is affordable. There are a few different price ranges of places that you can stay. We have quite a few different inns and pubs where you can stay, which have a lot cheaper prices, and of course we go all the way up to spas and places like that that are quite pricey, but definitely would be worth the money, I would say. So yeah, as I said, absolutely beautiful. As we all know, the Tyrells emblem is the rose, and well understood why that is. It is such a stunning place, so many gardens everywhere. That's probably the biggest thing that I would recommend for this city, to go and check out all of their stunning gardens. You can do walking tours of the gardens that will cost you a little bit of money, but not a lot of money. There is often beautiful music in different squares and gardens of an evening, so I would recommend picking up a guide to Highgarden whilst you're here. Most of the inns will have those, and that will tell you what and who is playing at different places around the place, but I would highly recommend that. Tomorrow night there will be a fire festival in this very garden, so we're planning to stay in Highgarden for as long, but we're planning to stay here for an extra night just to see that Firelight Festival. Also, I've managed to find myself pretty decent coffee, which was not expecting to find in the 7 Kingdoms, if I'm honest, so I'm pretty happy with that one. Alright guys, let's go for it. Alright, so we're actually in the Westerland. We are en route to the town of Casterly and the fabled Casterly Rock, the seat of House Lannister. But we wanted to stop on the way because this is an absolutely beautiful part of the country. We are stopped in a little meadow in the forest just off to the side of the road, and as you can see, it's a glorious spot to stop for lunch and have a look around. So welcome to Westerland. We're hoping to be able to stay in Casterly. There are a number of different inns and different shopping houses and that sort of thing. So I believe that there are, again, it's just like in Highgarden, a range, whether it be very abundant that you're looking for, whether it be quite cheap. So come and check out Casterly, the town of Casterly, and of course have a look at Casterly Rock. The main thing to do in Casterly is to tour the rock, which is actually possible, the Lannisters always being up for making some extra money. So you can do tours of the rock, and you can do tours of the river and the bay on which it sits, and you can also do a river tour. I believe there's something you can also do in River Run, which we are looking forward to as well. So come and check out Casterly and Casterly Rock, a fantastic part of the Seven Kingdoms. Okay, so here we are in Riverland. As you can see behind me, we do have River Run, which is of course the seat of House Tully, and yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful part of the world, as you can see, filled with great big rivers that just are gorgeous. So I highly recommend coming here for the views. You can do tours on the rivers themselves. There is this river behind me. There is also a few different tributaries which a variety of different tour companies will take you up and around. You can go on fishing expeditions, you can go whale watching. Fantastic part of the world to check out. There are dolphins in the river, so you can go and do some swimming with dolphins, and yeah, highly recommend that you check this area out. It's absolutely beautiful, one of the most amazing parts of the Seven Kingdoms and Westeros in general. And now we're going to go and do one of those river tours. Stopped for lunch just on the side of the road, really. It's this little kind of quiet area where we could park the horses and give them a rest and have a little bit of food. So that's my plan. But I thought that I would show you the beautiful countryside that we have here. We're on our way to Winterfell. So we're technically in the north now, the north being quite a large area. It's just stunning, isn't it? I think of it being so very dull and grey, but it really isn't. It's really very beautiful. Very happy to be in this part of the country. Looking forward to getting to Winterfell. Well, here we are in Winterfell, the fabled seat of House Stark, which is the main ruler of the North. The North is commonly known, at least within the North, as being the original of the Seven Kingdoms. It's the largest area in the Seven Kingdoms. And House Stark, which is the ruling house, can trace its lineage all the way back to well beyond Aegon the Conqueror into the first people. We have not been granted, unfortunately, permission to get into the Weirwood today, which is where the followers of the old religion do practice their religion. It would have been really fantastic if we had been able to do that, but unfortunately it is a important religious site for the people of House Stark and other members of the household and other important dignitaries from the north. There are many different noble houses in the north, so we weren't granted permission to go and film in there, which is understandable. If you are a member of an important noble family, perhaps you will even get a chance to have a tour of the Winterfell itself and the Winterwood. But for now, we're going to go into the local town, which is, I believe, called Winterwood, and we are going to check out where we can stay in Winterwood and what sort of stuff we can do within Winterwood. So staying in one of the two local pubs. Very nice little pub. It has nice rooms, really great food. We actually ended up staying there last night, so we didn't end up staying in the castle at all. And yeah, got in late last night, got in quite late in the afternoon yesterday. Just time for a quick update, so I'd highly recommend coming to this part of the country.